If your life feels comfortable right now, this message is for you, because comfort is where discipline dies. You know what's dangerous? Not failure, not chaos, not uncertainty. Comfort. At a certain point in life, comfort starts disguising itself as success. You have routines, you have stability, you know how to survive. And that's exactly when growth stops. In naval operations, we learn something early. The calmest waters demand the sharpest awareness, because storms force discipline. Calm seas expose complacency. I've watched capable people drift for years, not because they lacked intelligence, but because they stopped questioning their direction. And one thinker I deeply respect once warned about this without ever mentioning ships. If you don't deliberately design your life, you'll end up living one designed by default. That idea isn't modern, it's naval wisdom. First naval principle. Comfort is a signal, not a destination. On a ship, comfort doesn't mean safety. It means systems are working, for now. The danger begins when you assume today's stability guarantees tomorrow's security. In life, comfort often means you stopped learning, you stopped building leverage, you stopped compounding effort. Naval Ravikant speaks often about leverage, not as hustle, but as calm, intelligent positioning. In the Navy, we didn't work harder forever. We built systems so effort compounded. Naval wisdom says, if your progress depends entirely on constant effort, you're exposed. Real strength is quiet, scalable, and resilient. Second, naval principle. Never trade all your time for security on a ship. Time is the most limited resource. Waste it, and no amount of force saves you. Many people live their entire lives exchanging time for comfort, thinking they're being responsible, but naval thinkers understood something timeless. Security that depends on constant labor is fragile. Naval Ravikant would call this the trap of linear effort. Naval wisdom simply calls it poor navigation. You must build assets, skills, systems, relationship that continue working even when you're not. Because a life that stops earning the moment you stop moving is not secure, it's vulnerable. Third naval principle. Discipline outlasts intelligence. The smartest sailors didn't survive storms. The most disciplined ones did. Intelligence looks for shortcuts. Discipline builds foundations. Naval Ravikant often reminds people that calm is a superpower, that calm comes from discipline, not talent. In naval operations, discipline meant repeating boring drills, following systems under pressure, trusting process over emotion. Naval wisdom teaches, you don't rise to insight in a crisis, you fall to your habits, and habits compound, whether you notice them or not. Fourth, naval principle. Compounding is invisible until it isn't. Most people underestimate compounding because it feels slow, so they abandon it early. At sea, small course corrections barely feel noticeable. Until miles later, they determine whether you reach land or miss it entirely. Naval Ravikant talks about compounding in wealth, health, and knowledge. Naval wisdom talks about navigation. Same truth, different language. Direction matters more than speed. What you repeat daily becomes your destination. Fifth, naval principle. Environment shapes outcome. On a ship, you don't choose crew lightly. One careless watch can cost everything. Your environment, in who you listen to, what you consume, what you normalize, quietly programs your standards. Naval Ravikant often says, you are the average of your inputs. Naval wisdom says, never let undisciplined minds influence your direction. Protect your attention. It's the helm of your life. Final naval principle. time is not generous. The ocean doesn't wait for clarity. Neither does life. Most people assume they'll figure it out later. But navigation errors don't announce themselves. They compound silently. Naval Ravikant built his philosophy around long-term thinking because time is the only force stronger than effort. Naval wisdom puts it plainly. If you delay correction, the ocean corrects you. Closing. If this message unsettled you, that's intentional. Wisdom isn't meant to comfort you. It's meant to wake you up. This channel exists to preserve principles that outlast trends. Discipline over motivation, leverage over exhaustion, direction over speed. If that resonates, welcome to Naval Wisdom Archive. Save this message. Return to it when comfort tries to convince you that you've arrived. Because the sea doesn't reward comfort. It rewards readiness.